Let's go to line number 1. Pierre, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
It's a loaded question.
Loaded question.
For all of us these days, Pierre. I'm doing pretty good. You know, I'm entering almost the 3rd month of this gig, and I appreciate everyone's patience. So, you know, people, it's their cup of tea. Others, for most people, it has been so far. But I appreciate all the patience as I navigate through and try to, you know, plant the feet firmly here and going forward. So.
Yeah, well, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah, like anything, not going to erase 16 years of our previous great host in a couple of months, so I appreciate that.
No problem. So I have called the show before concerning the cornea situation.
Yes.
And the last time I called, my main focus was the lack of an eye bank here in Newfoundland. So basically for cornea transplant, we need to have the corneal tissue, and that needs to be harvested through a donor system, and then stored here in the province. But we have no place to store them here in the province.
Right.
So that's one of the things that make the waiting list so long in Newfoundland for cornea surgery.
Up to 5 years. Is it still in the 4 to 5 year realm, or is it even?
It's absolutely still in the 5-year waiting list, and. The second reason after the eye bank, lack of eye bank, is the fact that the surgeons can't get enough OR time.
And the one surgeon that is performing, are they still flying in, flying out occasionally?
She flies in every 2 months and does 5 cases. Yeah. Except that she's not coming in August, which was our normal month, because she's expecting a baby and she's going to deliver a baby. So there's just lengthening the wait list a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And so it's just it's tricky because 5 years is a long time with an eye problem where that can deteriorate. Like I was diagnosed with Fuchs dystrophy, and it's a degenerative condition of the cornea, and requires a partial cornea transplant. And I'm on a list to get it done, but I don't know when. And right now, I heard that there was a proposal by the private clinic to offer space to do the surgeries. Like in the past, cataract surgeries were done at hospital, but now they're done in a clinic. Right. And the fact you can get a cataract surgery, you have to maybe wait a couple of months. It's really not very long, because they've got this all streamlined in the clinic. And after that, I think there was also the injections for the glaucoma and those kind of things, and they're all done inside a private clinic. It's sort of like how should I say, a private public partnership. And there is a proposal to make the cornea transplant in the same model. And that would allow surgeons to come in to do more surgeries, because there would be OR time. Because they won't come in to do one surgery. It doesn't pay them to do that. But the only way to reduce the wait time is to have more surgeries. Of
course,
and
yes.
Right now, with just five every 2 months, that about 150 patients waiting to get their eye done or eyes done, because it's some people are already suffering with pain in their eye because of the condition they have, and it's not all right to wait 5 years.
No, and when you only have one ophthalmologist doing them, that's what you're up against.
Yes.
And I mean, even then, we don't have. What are we still only one of a couple of provinces, maybe 3, without an organ bank, for eye tissue?
I think 2. I think PEI is the only other province that doesn't have an eye bank. So
that means, of course, they got to come in with the cooler.
Yeah, she comes in with a cooler, and when she can, but right now she'll be off a few months because she's delivering her baby.
And certainly we can't hold that against her
we can't
getting on
hold
with
that
her life.
her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Ministry of Health is bombarded by all kinds of demands. I think I don't blame them, but at the same time, I think this private-public partnership would help. I was told it would would speed things up about 4 times. So instead of 5 years, we might get closer to 1.5 years. So.
And Pierre, where's that information coming from? Just where what's the source of the information on the public-private? And forgive me, because as much as I'm trying to get up to speed on everything, that one is a bit of news to me, only because I don't think I've seen anything official on it. Have I, or has anything?
There's a proposal to the Ministry of Health by the Eye Institute.
Right. Oh, the Jackman, is it?
Yeah, the Jackman Eye Institute, and they're willing to offer space for the surgeries to happen. And surgeons would come in because they would be, they could do enough surgeries to make them worth their trip. Mm-hmm. And then that would, it's just I don't know. There's many pieces of the puzzle have to fall into place for everything to work. But I think the status quo of 5 years is not acceptable.
Yeah. No, it's not. When you're talking about your eyesight, it can diminish in a forgive me, but the blink of an eye.
The blink of an eye. Yeah.
I'm.
The other thing is, as far as for my call this morning, I would like to try to get together with some other patients that are on that same list as me, and are waiting patiently, but are getting their fuses are getting a bit short too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a possibility, just to put out the call to at least that these patients contact their MHA and the Ministry of Health, and I think everybody's got to put in their bit about some public pressure into getting this resolved in a proper way.
And some will say, just get in the queue, because not to diminish the importance of eyesight and eye health, and you lose your sight or your hearing, it's that's a big hit to your quality of life. So it should be right up there in the realm. But these days it really feels like we're getting it's come down to the most serious issues that we can deal with first, life-threatening even.
Well, you were talking about the air ambulance thing.
Yes.
And there's very, very life-threatening things happening.
Yep.
But there's in an aging population, there's also the how should I say, the quality of life.
Yeah,
that
the obligation, the necessity. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I'm restricted now because of this condition to drive at night, because I don't see well enough to drive at night, and I live in CBS, so I can't get to St. John's without driving, and so I mean that's not so great. And I play in the Newfoundland Symphony, and I can't get to rehearsals because they're in the evening.
Oh.
And so the part of my life has been put on hold since I found out that I need cornea transplant, and then I find out I'm in this big loop about a 5-year waiting list.
I agree with the call out. There's not just comfort, but there's strength in numbers, obviously. And if you can find the others that are anyone else that's in the exact same boat as you, I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, even your doctor or the specialists and that sort of thing probably know who these people are. But yeah, I mean, in a general sense, being able to have other people who are in the same boat as you, it not only gives you strength, but it also gives you that comfort, that I'm not alone. There's more voices is better than one, and you can actually make probably a more substantial presentation or lobby before government, as opposed to, no offense, but when one person as opposed to 20 is going to get their attention. That's just the way it works.
You should get a better attention, I think. If absolutely. So after definitely a call out to any patients with suffering with cornea issues that are on that list, because it's not a short list, and it's everybody I think would like to get done yesterday.
And not everybody can afford to just fly off and get it done somewhere else.
No, well, the issue is that every province has sort of their own waiting list as well, and then you have to fly out there, and then you can claim the travel expenses, but you got to pay them up front.
Yeah. And
the different things like that. But ideally, you want to be served in your province if the ability for the system to do it.
Sure.
And I think that's where I'm heading. I don't really want to go away for this procedure, but I might have to. But I think I want to thank the Jack Manine Institute, who's been fighting to get this in the realm of a more palatable waiting list, and there just hasn't been any nibbles to the proposal.
Well, it's one more that not that I didn't add it because it's not important. It's just one more to add to the list if and when I can get the health minister, who's a little busy these days.
Yeah, I imagine.
On the program. Not that, that gives a pass. We all know what they're in for, and she's got a lot on her plate, Minister Leila Evans. So it's another one that's in my bonnet, if you will, or on my list to bring up, and hopefully this public-private partnership idea comes to fruition, and sooner rather than later, Pierre. I'm sorry for what you're going through. I know what it's like. My eyes are brutal. I wear contacts, but, when I take them out, I'm blind as a bat. And I've been putting off probably having a look at that, but there it is. I just, I'm not one for waiting lists either. I'm more of a procrastinator, unfortunately, when it comes to that.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah. But look, I appreciate the call and for bringing it to attention. And again, others who are in that realm, in that boat, is there any private way you'd like them to reach out? I mean, we have your number here if people would like to call us.
If you could give them my number, I'd appreciate that. Sure. If you think that somebody might do that.
Yep, sure. Rather than, because, a lot of people don't have a pen handy or anything, but if everybody knows the number to open line, easy to get. So if they want to follow up on your suggestion of, strengthen numbers, getting some other people of like mind and like eyesight, then that might help go a long way.
Well, that sounds great, Brian. I hope you have a good morning and lots of interesting topics.
There's no doubt about that. Thank you, Pierre. I appreciate the call.
This is VOCM Open Line. Call now to get in the queue. 709-273-5211 or 1-888-590-8626. The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station. The biggest conversation in Newfoundland and Labrador starts now. Here's your host, Brian Callahan.
Let's go right to line number 2. Nick Cranford, you're on the air.
Good morning, Brian.
How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Long time no chat.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so I wanted to tell everyone out there who's listening about a new word search that I've got out. I'm sure everyone's heard about my Newfoundland word searches, and they've gone gangbusters the last few years.
Not to mention a couple of Snowmageddon book or two.
That's right. Yeah, so I've got a brand new one. It's called The Ultimate Word Search for Seniors. So basically, everyone knows, I got the inspiration to do the Newfoundland word searches from my late great nan, Rita Cranford of New Harbor. She just loved doing them, every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And, and all of my memories growing up in New Harbor, being over at her house, all the time, even sleeping over as a young kid, young lad, right? And getting and being in her cubby hole and everything. And it's seeing their barn and big backyard. And it's so I wanted to create a word search that my great nan and her generation, that whole crowd would love. So this is why this is how the Ultimate Word Search for Seniors came to be.
And of course, Rick, I should, I neglected or was remiss not to say that this is, of course, you're with Flanker Press. Didn't mention it off the top, but this is a Flanker Press publication, as all of yours are. And Mr. and Mrs. Flanker, shout out to your parents.
That's right. So, so basically, if I could have to sum up what the Seniors Word Search is about. So, there's a whole bunch of puzzles. It's a celebration of a life well lived, because being a senior, it's not something to be afraid of. It's meant to be embraced. So I've got it's jumbo print, and one of the things that this word search has that my other word searches don't have is there are hidden word clues in every puzzle. So if you're looking for that extra challenge, you've got it, right? Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I'm looking at all kinds of pictures. You're holding up those word searches. And you say, you know, for seniors, there's a lot on the go these days. This can be a nice break from reality. I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Like, I mean, there's so many puzzles in here, like, I mean, that you can think of. It's everything that our grandparents grew up with, whether it's the music, the movies, the TV shows, the classic cars, game shows, like the old antiques, everything, history, also things of today. Like, for example, I've got puzzles on Seniors Dictionary. I've got retirement home checklist. I've got our favorite soaps. I've got
Holy.
Oh my God, like lifelong learning, healthy living tips. Like, it's everything that you need to navigate this, you know, the golden years, this new chapter of your life.
Yeah, keep the mind fresh, right? The exercise for the mind, and there's a bit of nostalgia in every word that you find.
Absolutely. Like, I truly believe that the ultimate word search for seniors is going to be the word search that every senior is going to want to have, right? I mean, this isn't, like, this word search was made, like, I mean, I'm only 28 years old, and, like, I'm already thinking about, I mean, our parents' generation, grandparents' generation. So, like, it's not every day that this happens, right? And it's been amazing.
Yeah, amazing run, great idea. It's definitely, you know, a lot of people's cup of tea. There's no question about that. Especially, I know a couple of people who crossword puzzles drive them up the wall. They love a good word search. It's just way more relaxing.
It's crazy. Every house you go into, like, I mean, so far, like, the early reception's crazy. Like, at Lane's retirement home here in town, like, I've had some seniors who have my book, the Seniors Word Search, and, like, they're doing competitions, like, with their friends, like, competing over who can do the puzzle the quickest, right? Who can solve all words, right? So it's pretty interesting.
Yep. Hopefully that doesn't come to a dust up or anything over at Lane's today. Now we don't need rivalries breaking out over that.
Oh my God, no.
Good friendly competition.
So just before I go, just to let you guys know where you can get it.
Yep.
The Ultimate Word Search for Seniors can be picked up at Chapters, Kohl's, the Orange Store, Circle K's on the highway, Powell's, basically wherever Flanker Press books are sold.
Absolutely. Nick, thanks for this today. It's great to hear from you. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Flanker.
Yes.
Cranford, of course, a.k.a. And we'll be in touch.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Yeah, it's good to hear from you.
Good luck with the book. Thanks very much.
All right. All the best.
You too. Take care. Okay, Nick Cranford there with Flanker Press. Of course, the word search books are uber popular around these parts. They're great. You see them on, go into any of your nan's house or pop's house, and there's one lying around on the table somewhere. It's just a great little relief and a break from, as I mentioned, a bit of a break from reality. Let's go right to line number 2. And Ches Crosby, former leader of the Progressive Conservative Party in the province, you're on the air.
Thank you, Brian. Very kind of you. Your readers, your listeners have become aware probably of a story that your news department has run about the Quebec opposition leader who's in a pre-campaign period in Quebec, claiming that the border is not settled, that they want compensation from the federal government because they're not satisfied, that the border was drawn fairly back 99 years ago when the top court in the Commonwealth drew where the border was. And by the way, that was accepted in the Terms of Union, and it's explicitly set out in Term 2 of the Terms of Union in 1949. So it's constitutional. It's not subject to dispute. And as Premier Wakeham has said yesterday, it's a settled matter, and he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. There is an issue, though, and the Parti Québécois in Quebec, which is favored to be the next government, is like a schoolyard bully on this, and they'll keep raising it until someone shoves back. So
Absolutely, yeah. Especially Mr. Plamondon's made no bones about that. Some people say it's politicking. Obviously there's, you ramp up the nationalism, and they have a referendum coming, they have the election coming. Of course, the MOU, the Churchill Falls thing, is front and center right now, and the pressure is on the Premier Frechette, whether or not she can get something across the finish line. So it almost, are you taking it seriously, or is it just, what you do in Quebec? I mean, that's a long-standing issue. I've never been able to get a straight answer out of the 2 or 3 Quebec premiers that I've interviewed as a journalist. Whenever we bring it up, most recently, Premier Legault, when he was here with Premier Fury, we had a scrum at the House of Assembly, and I asked him point blank what he believes, where he believes the Labrador border, if it is, if he believes in the decision that was made in 27. And no, we're not going to talk about that today. And that's always been the answer.
Still, yes, because it's more useful to them as a continuing, dental procedure they can perform on Newfoundlanders and the rest of the country to extort money to buy quiet over it.
Right. So where do you think it's going?
Well, here's what I think needs to happen. Right now, there's a Council of the Federation First Ministers meeting going on in Prince Edward Island. The first day was yesterday. This is the second, and the third and last day is tomorrow. What needs to happen is the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, when he arrives tomorrow, he hasn't been there yet, needs to make it clear to the country that this is not an issue. The border is settled. It's a matter of the constitutional law of Canada, and he's not countenancing any claims from Quebec, no matter who's in charge of the government, for compensation over something that's been settled for almost 100 years. As well, Premier Frechette, who is now the Premier of Quebec and the counterparty in the negotiation with Mr. Wakeham, she needs to make it clear that this is not under dispute by the Quebec government, and she is right now the Quebec government. So that needs to be said. Plus, behind the closed doors, Premier Wakeham needs to push for and demand that the Quebec government agree to where the boundary was defined to be by the top court in the Commonwealth 99 years ago and by the terms of union in 1949.
Well, the Premier was asked about this at a recent scrum, recently, as opposed to all the other times that all the other premiers have been asked. And, of course, he has called it, he brushed it off as a non-issue, saying it was just speculation that it could be an issue, even though, as I mentioned, I've never been able to get a official word on the record. Yes, we recognize the same border that Newfoundland and Labrador does, and still on most of their maps. It still shows the territory as disputed or part of Quebec.
That's right.
And now they're looking for reparations.
It's too useful to them.
And they're saying,
it's too useful for them.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's too useful to extort money from the federal government, or for that matter, possibly try and extort concessions from the Newfoundland government in these negotiations. But the Premier of Quebec and the Prime Minister of Canada have to put paid to this and put a stop to it and say the border is where it is defined by the Constitution.
How much of an issue do you think this is actually, whether it's in the background or in the foreground of the current talks around the MOU?
They're opportunists, like all politicians, of course, but Quebec is, we probably would agree, particularly cagey and using whatever leverage it can within Confederation to raise, the boogeyman of, we can't offend Quebec. We can't give any ammunition to the people who want to leave Canada, that kind of stuff, and then using it to their maximum benefit. Not because they really believe the principle behind it. I don't think these people actually believe the border could possibly be changed. So instead of that, they make the outlandish claim they need to be compensated for it. And given the way politics often work in Canada, they might actually get that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, it does the argument that the window is closing, the opportunity is now, as opposed to if the Parti Québécois happen to win the election in the fall, I think it's October 5th, and they keep to this stand, that could really set back any talks for the hydro development and anything else. I mean, once it gets into the courts, I mean, you mentioned that it's not open to dispute, but I mean, as a lawyer, seasoned, lawyer that anything can be disputed. Depending on the series.
Well, it can, but this is this is definitely a no-hoper. It is enshrined in the Constitution, but that won't stop them from raising it if they think they can somehow twist arms and raise fears and get compensation primarily from the federal government, and we're all taxpayers towards that pot of money, which seems to be running dry rapidly, or ballyrag us in the negotiations. So just to summarize, Brian, Premier Wakeham needs to make sure this is addressed in whatever deal comes out of the negotiation with Quebec, if there is a deal, because this is an awful lot to accomplish in a very short period, but we'll see. And Prime Minister Carney needs to make it clear that this is a non-issue. It was settled long, long ago. It's part of the Constitution of Canada. Keep quiet about it. And Premier Frechette, the current Premier, needs to say, yes, this is a non-issue.
Just last thing for you, Chess, I'm wondering from where you sit, from where you stand, from what you're observing, do we need to hammer out this MOU now? Is now the time? Or should we, as Ron Penny and others have said, it's okay if it doesn't happen now, we can stand back and take a better look at it and then move forward with a little bit more sober second thought?
Well, I think I'm in the Ron Penny camp, and that of many others who've informed themselves about this. The luxury of time is on our side, not on theirs, and they have admitted that. The people who know what they're talking about, who are spokespeople for the Quebec side, have said, we got to get this done. Time's not on our side.
Yeah, well, with the provincial election pending, some might say, they are in a tough spot right now, and maybe they're willing to give a little bit, such as the thought that the former MOU was not strong enough on the timelines and all that sort of thing, and now is the time to probably extract more from them, even though Quebec has said if we, want to water it down and make it better for us, they're going to want to make it better for them.
So that's the reason to be in talks right now.
Yeah.
There might be a window here where Frechette and the current government, party in power, is desperately looking for something that they can present as a win to their own people going into the election, which will be held by their law on the 5th of October, very soon. And that's why it's worth talking to them now. But I agree with those who say we are not in a hurry. We should take the time to get this right. We're not under any kind of gun there.
Former PC leader, Chess Crosby, thanks a lot for this morning. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks
Have
for
a
adding
great
to
day.
the... Yep, you're welcome. Thank you.
Brian Callahan hosts Open Line. The biggest conversation in Newfoundland and Labrador happens weekday mornings at 9 on VOCM.
Let's go to line number 4. Dana, you're on the air.
Hello, Brian. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for waiting. Sorry
No
about...
problem.
Yeah.
First time I've talked to Patty a few times about blind camps and stuff.
Yes.
But I wanted to talk about long-term care. I had a stroke 16 years ago, and my mom took care of me at home till she got sick and couldn't do it no more. So my mom was an angel.
Yeah.
So then I moved to long-term care, and I went to the one in Port Saunders down in Northern Peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
And then in January, I moved to the one in Carnival, with long-term care, to one new hospital.
Right.
And I just like to know, why. I mean, I'm totally blind too, right? And I can hear how hard the staff work in these places, and I don't know, I just heard a commercial had to prevent hunger, and I think there's a lot of food that goes in the trash can that why these workers can't have it or give it to someone that's hungry, right?
Yeah, it depends on the food, I guess. First of all, Dana, because obviously some stuff will keep and some won't. And I think about this every time I walk into a grocery store, to be honest. You look at the layout of food that's been put out there fresh. There's no way they're selling all that in the run of a day. And I know, I do know some of these places, commercial places, have, have programs where they do divert food that can be to various, food banks or whatever. I haven't done a full-scale swath review of who's doing what these days and where all the food goes, and I welcome calls from any of the, usual suspects, the food banks and others who are in that realm, support agencies. But as far as NL Health Services goes, I'm not sure their actual protocol with regard to that, but I'm with you. I mean, it's a sin, for anything, any food to go to waste these days, considering...
I've talked to my staff here. I mean, they're their own angels to me. They treat me like gold, and I just see how, even though I'm blind, I see how hard they work, and why can't they add for me? If all the residents are fed and got enough, and there's something there, why can't the staff have it?
It's a good question. I mean, whether it's the staff or again, save it, package it, airtight it, and get it off to someone who can need it. God knows there's enough people out there.
Hungry, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question, and it's interesting. When I, talk to a lot of people here on the show, and when you mentioned you're totally blind, and as you said, you hear all the work that they're all doing. It's kind of an awakening for a lot of us. The world of being sightless. It's it must be just a very, very difficult situation to be in. You have to learn all over how to understand the signals around you, and the sound becomes
I'm paralyzed on one side, so that's a double whammy, right?
Wow.
But I can still smile and laugh because I got such wonderful staff taking care of me around. Unbelievable. I sit down on my part Saunders. I was there for 2 years. I mean, they became my new family, right?
Yeah, and you're an example
and
to
also Karen and Jolly, and that's what keeps me so strong is the people that's taking care of it around, unbelievable. And also the friends and family I got that keeps me strong and smiling. Because they always said I got a positive attitude, right? I mean, what can you do about it?
I can feel the positivity through the phone line. Obviously, I don't know if you've been listening since I sort of took the reins here, but, we're trying to promote some good news and positivity. But you can be a great example for many, not just you, but the staff. Because, again, as you just mentioned, the staff are a great influence on you for your positivity, despite what you're going through. I mean, as you said, totally blind, you're paralyzed on one side, suffered a stroke 16 years ago, and had angels like your mother and the support staff that are there. This is music to the ears of those staff and to the system, because what we hear, Dana, I don't need to tell you the complaints that we hear, that's for sure. Many of them justified.
And like I said, I've only been in 2 long-term cares, and where I've been, man, they've been my angels. They take so good care of you, and like they care and love you. And that means a lot to me. You love someone and show respect, you get it back, right?
Well, and to hear that you're in good spirits, with everything else that you're dealing with right now, and a lot of it due to the staff, they should give them all look, this boosts their morale. It boosts morale across the healthcare system.
Brian, it's not just like the PCAs, the Harrians, and everyone. I mean, it's the cleaning people, the kitchen staff, the servers. They all come in and talk to me and they say if they're having a bad day, they comes in there because I tell them if they come in my room, if they don't leave feeling good and a smile, I don't want them in there.
Boy, if everyone could adopt...
But when they're feeling bad, they comes in my room to be lifted up.
Jeez. Well, you've lifted me up. This is a positive phone call that, you have... Sometimes people don't realize what I'm dealing with behind the scenes, or Beth is dealing with on the phones. But to get a call like this that everybody can listen to, anything positive these days, Dana, is nothing but a good thing, I can't tell you how much it's great to hear this from you.
And like I said, I don't know him out as a listener, but I know where your brother is, and he's the best little brother anyone could ever have. He does everything in the world for me.
Well, I hope what you have is...
I think you're listening, Dwayne. I love you, buddy. And I love my mom more than anything in this world. She's my angel. She's done so much for me. She gave up her life for 16 years taking care of me, Brian, day and night. And, I mean, it's unbelievable what she's done for me all my life. But she's been the best mama in the world, and she's my angel forever. And I just don't realize how much I love her more than any amount of money in this world.
Dana, it's the hardest card when I go to look for one on Mother's Day. It's the hardest one that I find. Sometimes I write it myself, and it's just a card. But just as an example, it's the hardest one to find because trying to put into words how much your mom means to you, means to all of us.
Before I go, Brian, I got one little thing to tell you. One more thing. I lost my sight when I was 11 years old through a retina disease. And but I was born with no color vision, right? I never ever seen color.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what my dream is in life? I don't want to win a lottery. I just want to be took care of well, like I'm being took care of. And my dream is I'd love to see a rainbow.
I hope you see your rainbow, Dana, because you deserve it for the positivity that you're exuding here today and the uplift that you're giving to not just the workers there. You say you're in the new long-term care in Corner Brook now?
Yeah, right next to the hospital.
The former workers that were in Port Saunders and anyone else. Boy, you deserve it, just in exchange for this phone call this morning. I hope you see your rainbow, buddy.
The social workers I've had in Port Saunders and here, and the dietitians, the nurse practitioners, they're amazing. And people don't really need to put up so much, but they're always cheerful to help you and willing to help you and do whatever they can. And even like the students, some of the student staff, nurses I've had, well, they're going to be great nurses, I tell you. Our health system should be proud of them that's in the school system coming up, because the ones I've had are doing a bit of training, but they're going to be unbelievable people too, I tell you.
Dana, I hope your mom and brother are listening.
Should be proud of what's coming.
I hope your mom and brother are listening today.
Yeah, I remember. Thanks, Brian.
Dana, thank you so much.
I can't tell you all their names because I'll be here till next week, but I want to send a hello to all my friends and my family who was always there beyond me and everything I've done. And they always keeps me positive, and I love all yous, and you all know who you are, and I love every one of yous forever. And I love my staff in Port Saunders, who tell my family and always will be, and you never will ever be forgotten what you done for me ever. So everybody out there, I hope you have a great, wonderful day. And as Moo Moo would say many years ago, yabba dabba do.
I remember that too. Dana,
yeah. All right, Brian, nice talking to you, and have a great, wonderful day. And all your listeners, stay safe. And God bless you and love you all.
Thank you, Dana, very much for this call. And I'm praying for your rainbow, buddy. Take care.
Thanks, my man. Have a great day.
You too.
VOCM Open Line, weekday mornings at 9 a.m. with Brian Callahan. Join the conversation. VOCM.
Paul Toomey, you're on the air.
Morning, Brian. How are you this morning?
Great. So, how was Corner Brook? How was the Best Coast?
Corner Brook, the Best Coast was absolutely the best. We had a fabulous night with bingo. Over 300 people showed up to play. And we were just over the moon. I got to say, we were really excited about it. It was a great evening, and I want to put out a great big thank you to all the people on the West Coast who came out to support us, and hopefully learn a little bit more about eating disorders and the work that we're trying to do on the West Coast. And I'd also like to particularly thank our sponsors for the evening, Byron's Outpost from Deer Lake, who were our presenting sponsor, and Digital Advertising Solutions, who provided us with a lot of great promotion about the bingo. So I attribute a lot of the success to the folks and good folks in the Corner Brook area who came out. It was a wonderful evening, and overall it was a great trip to Corner Brook for me, and a great opportunity to meet a lot of new people. And on Thursday, I had the opportunity to speak to the Corner Brook Rotary Club as well, and that turned out to be a great session. So a great 2-3 days on the West Coast last week.
Yes, and I didn't mention off the top, of course, you're the executive director of the Eating Disorder Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador. And the office out there, you have that office set up now, all running and up and...
Yeah, we do. It's kind of a temporary office right now.
Where exactly is it located, Paul?
We're located in the what's now called the Corner Brook Community Health Center, or to most people out in the area would know it as the old Western Memorial Hospital. Right. We're just across the pedway from the School of Nursing, and the young lady who's working for us is, I guess, unfortunately, in one sense, is there for the summer months. She'll be finishing up in that role in September, or sort of finishing up. I got to qualify that because she's actually going back to university here in St. John's, Well, she's going to be working out of our office 1 day a week, so we will be continuing to make our contacts on the West Coast and in Corner Brook. And if anybody wants to catch up with Olivia, who is our worker out there, she's going to have a booth at Jigs and Wheels over the next couple of weeks.
Great time.
And we're also going to it's going to be a great event, and so she'll be there. I know this Saturday and probably next Saturday and Sunday, and we're also going to be very active during the Newfoundland summer games that are coming up early in August. We're going to be have a booth for the athletes. We're going to have information for the athletes. So it's been a very active summer for us in Corner Brook, and certainly a good indicator that. We want to be on the ground in the West Coast, and we think we can do a lot more good work, particularly in terms of awareness by being in Corner Brook on a regular basis. So that's my goal. We'll see where it takes us.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, so the 5th annual Jigs and Wheels Summer Festival gets underway in 2 days on Friday.
Yep.
And goes to August the 2nd. And there's all kinds of details, of course, on the Jigs and Wheels and the Corner Brook, City of Corner Brook website. A question though, Paul, I was wondering, whenever you try something new or branch out and do something different for a community, there's always got to be a little bit of trepidation about, is this going to work out? Who's going to show up? I mean, I know it as a performer on the side, you're always wondering if you get a few bodies in the room or whatever. It must have been nice to see the cars start pulling in, was it?
Oh, Brian, it was, we had announced that we would open the gates at 5:30 and we'd start bingo at 7 o'clock. And the first people started showing up around 10 after 5. And I got to say, the smile on my face was probably as wide as the Bay of Islands. And,
good one.
And the volunteers and the staff were just so excited about it. A great big shout out, by the way, to the number of people who came out and helped out and volunteered, particularly my board members on the West Coast. We do have two board members and a former board member who came out and just put on a great effort for us to get through the evening. Actually, Brian, it was so good that we're going to go back.
Oh, careful.
We're going to go back. We're going to go back on September 23rd for another drive-in bingo at the Civic Center.
By popular demand.
By popular demand, yeah. There were a lot of people who couldn't understand why we weren't going to be there, why we were waiting until the end of September. Well, the point is, it's so darn busy out on the West Coast and in the Corner Brook area in August. There just wasn't the time we could get.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. But we will be back. So keep the Wednesday, September 23rd open. We will be back for another version of Drive-In Bingo, and we look forward to it. Speaking of Drive-In Bingo, we have Drive-In Bingo tonight at Jackburn Regional.
Nice segue.
It's a continuation of our regular, not every Wednesday night, but regular Wednesday night bingos at Jackburn.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking to be a decent evening. Love to see a great crowd there. As a matter of fact, I challenge people in the area to come out and let's beat the 330 number that we had in Corner Brook last week.
Yeah, there you go. Nice target. I hope you do. Yeah. There's lots of room in that lot for it.
Yeah. Oh, there absolutely is. Brian, one last thing I mentioned while I'm on the fundraising kick, and the bingos are not all about the fundraising. There are a lot of it is about the awareness as well. But this last one, this is our 20th anniversary, by the way. The Eating Disorder Foundation will be 20 years old later on this year. So as part of that celebration, we have a 20th anniversary WestJet Flyaway raffle on the go. Only 425 tickets. They're available by reaching out to our website or contacting us here at the office. They're $20 each or 3 for $50. And again, there's only 425. We're not drawing until October, but we'll certainly draw earlier if we sell out. So appreciate the support that anybody can provide. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to get on and plug our activities this morning.
Paul, it's always a pleasure. The lines are open for you. Someday, we're right on the break here now, but I mean, always remiss. I'd like to get into a conversation just about any headway that we are making on this front about the actual cause itself,
I would be very happy to do that at any time at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into that a little bit more. I mean, these fundraisers are so important to the success of the program, the programs you offer, and the important nature of it, God knows. So, yeah, we'll get into that. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it, but certainly next time we have a chat, when you call with an update. By the way, what was the jackpot out in Corner Brook?
The jackpot was $1,000, and we had 12 games, so we gave away around $3,000 in prizes. And, of course, people on the West Coast are no different than people here. They love their Nevada tickets.
Yeah, they all pull tabs, but they love them. Can't get enough of them. Yep, no, you're right about that.
Oh, my son, I'll tell you.
just don't get stuck behind someone who wants to open them all at a convenience store while you're just waiting to pay for gas.
Oh, yeah. Been there, done that.
Yep. I'll do it this afternoon, probably. Well, yeah, there you go. That's another story. Paul Toomey, the Executive Director of the Eating Disorder Foundation of the province. Thank you very much for this. Onward and upward. Good luck with the next one.
Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
Brian Callahan hosts Open Line. The biggest conversation in Newfoundland and Labrador happens weekday mornings at 9 on VOCM.
Line number 2, and Brian, you're on the air.
Good morning, Brian, and how are you? Long time no talk.
Grand time. When was the last time?
Oh, gosh, I'd say it's been a while.
Okay.
It's been a while. I've been talking to you on the newsroom and plus on Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah, but congratulations for your new post.
Thank you very much. Still get my feet
You're
wet.
doing a good job.
I appreciate it.
And to the gentleman that said he'd like to see the rainbow, I hope and pray that he keeps his hopes up. My dad was a blind man, and don't get in his way. He wanted to do everything on his own.
Well, that's great. Those are great words, as you said. I have no doubt with that man's positivity. A lot of it is about positivity and the positive frame of mind you have, the positivity, the faith you have, and just everything for a reason. And, with the goodness that man is pouring out here this morning, whether it's for the staff, whether it's for his family, whether it's for the health care that he's received, despite the debilitating nature of what he's been going through. Boy, we could all learn a lesson there, and he deserves the rainbow. And I just don't hope he gets it. He deserves it.
Yeah, he definitely do. I mean, like I said, my dad was blind, and, he cut his own wood. He chopped it up. I went out and gave him a hand, and other people in the family got up and swept the chimney on his own, all that. But anyway, I want to throw out a bow of flowers to a gentleman named Ken Howlett. He's a pilot. I was on my e-bike yesterday out here in CBS, and I struck the post, the barrier, and struck the post with my handlebar, and went flying off it down between a rock and a tree and tore my ear off.
Jumping.
Halfway off.
Moses. Okay. How are you now?
Well, they just by luck, I didn't lose my ear, and I didn't lose my hearing or anything, but just scraped it.
I know the first thing that people are talking about, shouting at the radio, not shouting, but wondering about absolutely is, of course, you had a helmet on?
Yes, sir, I had a helmet on. This is the second accident I had out here on the trails.
Yep.
And I am begging, and I am telling whoever's involved or whoever is in charge of these barriers, get their act together. It is not safe. They got signs posted up. Use trails at your own risk. The trails are not safe.
What specifically was the issue here again, Brian? So the barrier that was up, is that the pole you struck?
Yeah, well, yes, at the pole, and then I kind of went over under the rock, and then I went down between the tree and the rock down over a little embankment.
And what time of day was this? Did you say this is yesterday?
This was yesterday evening, around 4:35 o'clock.
Okay. And so off you went, down into the ditch. How long were you down there before somebody was able... Were you able to get yourself out of it at all, or...?
Oh, no, I couldn't get out of there myself. Now, the gentleman that helped me, Ken
Howlett,
I seen him as I was getting ready to go in to make the turn around the barrier, I seen him and he seen me. And the next thing, bang out, I was gone.
Yeah.
He seen me. I could hear him, but I couldn't sing out to him because I was crumpled up. My legs were up in the air,
Jeez.
and I had my throat, chin, everything down against my chest. The barriers needs to go. They can come up with barriers that splits in the middle. At least you got a chance. But where they got these rocks, I don't know who ever came up with this. But I can tell you something right now. It is not stopping here.
Is it an attempt to keep motorized vehicles that aren't supposed to be on it, or any kind of operation like, well, ATV is the first thing that comes to mind, but is that what they're there for? Because in my mind's eye, I can't exactly see what's there. When you say barriers, are they rocks and poles and a chain, or?
It's rocks. It's a rock on one end, then you got a pole down on the ground, and then you got another straight rod going over on the other side into another pole.
Okay, I got you.
So they can open it up. What I'll do later on this evening, after I get a few hours sleep, I'll send you a couple of pictures.
Perfect. To try to give, because obviously a picture tells 1,000 words.
Yeah.
And when you try to describe an incident, people will tell you 4 different people who give you the different versions of what they all saw at the same time.
Well, I got Rick Noseworthy involved.
There you go. Yep, with the trails.
My first one, the first accident I had there, probably last winter or last fall, or last September, actually,
right,
when I had my last accident. And I bet myself up bad, and I bet up my my bike, and I bet up my trailer because of the trailer hooked the rock.
And obviously, you're not going with any speed here. I mean, I'm not suggesting, people say, okay, did he do everything perfect? Maybe not, I don't know. But was there anything on your end that you could have done differently to avoid all this? Like, is there enough notice of what you were about to face or came up against?
Yes, I did everything right. I'm 67 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not out driving mad on my bike or anything like that. I'm out to enjoy a ride.
Yep.
And everyone that I've spoken to said it's dangerous. But I said it's no good of saying it's dangerous. You have to approach the people. You have to get on open line. You have to get the media involved, NTV, CBC, VOCM, all those radio stations. Get them involved. If they don't want to get involved, that's fine. Just don't ever contact them again.
Do you come across other e-bikes or scooters and that kind of thing? Is this a shared trail like they have in St. John's here now?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, what can go on these trails are e-bikes and scooters.
Okay.
Dirt bikes or ATVs are not allowed, even though they still get on them.
Oh, God, yeah.
But they're not allowed.
Yeah, it's like people who walk their dogs off leash. They're still there, and they'll say, oh, okay, I'll put them on when I come around the corner, but it's usually too late. And how long have you had an e-bike? How do you find it? Like, just compared to a normal?
I bought one, it was 2 years ago. I only had it 18 months when I had my first accident. And then I went and I got another one there in December, brand new one, $3,000.
Is there much of a learning curve to it? Because I know you can switch the pedal to motor.
You can switch the pedal to motor. They're good. They are dangerous. Don't get me wrong. They are dangerous. They're fast machines.
But it depends who's operating it.
It all depends. I mean, I wear a vest where people can see me.
Mm-hmm.
If I am passing someone, I see someone walking, I blow my horn. I got a nice loud horn on it. I got 2 mirrors on it. I got 2 cameras that I can take pictures. I got a camera on the back of my bike. I got a camera on the front of my bike.
Mm-hmm.
Now, thank God I never did no damage to the bike. I did a lot of damage to me, my ear, my ribs, my leg. But, I mean, I think it's time for someone to get off their backside and listen and get rid of these rocks and get rid of these barriers that they got up and have the barrier rate split in the middle.
And this is specifically where on the trail system in CBS, Brian? Just one more time.
It's the full length
Okay, but where did it occur for you? Where did this incident occur again, roughly?
Well, this incident happened to me just outside of Seal Cove.
Okay. And look,
now, they got the signs and that up, but I mean, I don't look at the signs. It just takes me time going through.
Yeah, taking your time is the trick.
Yeah, thanks be to God that this young gentleman Howlett was there. I mean, he had a job to get me up out of it.
I was just going to say, I mean, he had to, help you up out of it. How long did it all take? And then he got you back, and did he help? Like, did he take you anywhere or have to assist you that way, or were you able to go?
No. When I got up, he said, "No, don't be in no rush." He said, "I'm not in no rush. Just sit down and take a break." And he seen the blood out. He didn't know how bad it was. He said, by the looks of it, he said, "You only got a cut."
Right.
That's a little scratch. But when I got home, excuse me, but after I got my bearings where I was to, because I mean, I gave my face, I scratched up the helmet bad. That's the second helmet now. And the helmet only went down as far as the top of the ear. And the same thing with the first one I had. But when I get another helmet now, it's going to be a full helmet.
How much did the helmet save yourself?
What, in cost or?
Well, no, I mean in the actual impact.
Impact, it saved my life.
There you go. That can't be said enough. Honestly, Brian, you can't say that sentence enough.
Yeah, no, it saved my life, and when I send the pictures to you, I'll make sure that you see the helmet and the bruises and my ear and all that. I can't show you the ear where I got it opened because I was trying to clean it out and then try to take a picture at the same time. Couldn't do it, but as I stuck the tissue inside the ear to get the blood out, the whole ear was lifting away from my head.
So yeah, right at the base there, right at the lobe, I suppose, was it?
Yeah, right up on the top of the ear, from the top of the ear down to the middle.
Okay. But
that was close.
I know it's cliche, but it could have been worse, hey. And, you're back in the saddle? Getting back in?
I'm back in the saddle, yes. I will be going back on my bike. Not today, not tomorrow. I got to give myself some healing because this is going to take at least a couple of weeks to heal. They couldn't put in stitches because it was too hard of an area. But they glued us.
Well, Brian, I welcome anyone with the town of CBS. I know that the mayor listens to this show. Matter of fact, he's sometimes right here where I'm standing. So I'm sure he's aware of this issue, and that doesn't take anything away from his job, of course, and a great job he does here. But I'm sure he's listening, and if he's not, somebody else is in the town. And I'm sure they're taking this to heart today and taking it under advisement. And I hope you get some kind of... have you made any kind of reach out to them specifically, or just generally letting them know here this morning via open line?
Well, this is the first time I went on open line. The first accident I had, I reached out to a counsellor of CBS, and I reached out to Rick. And Rick was the guy they were going back and forth to. Yeah.
Yeah, he's at the front of this, that safety, whether it's on the trail systems or involving ATVs or, just safety in general. What a great ambassador he is for that. Brian,
I can tell you, Rick knows his work.
Oh, God, does he ever. And he's an incredibly important and valuable resource for us in the media. Very accessible. He's got the stats. He knows the insides and outs of it, and he has a great relationship, of course, with all the authorities, whether it's the RCMP and RNC and the work that they do. Despite that, we still have unfortunate incidents, recklessness and the accidental stuff. But again, when you have something inserted into this issue, such as the way that the barriers are up on a trail, an unnecessary impediment that just adds to the overall, safety risks with the e-bikes and everything. Not necessarily the way you operate them, but maybe others. So, this is on top of that. So, all heard and all taken under advisement. I'll welcome anyone from the town who wants to comment.
Well, I got two other short things to mention.
Sure.
Last night when we were going in St. John's from CBS, got there in Kilbride, there was about 4 kids, probably around 6 years old, on scooters. No lights, no helmets, no vests, nothing. And my daughter had the headlights on. It was duckish. It was dark.
Yep.
I don't know where half the parents are. They don't care about their youngsters, in my opinion.
Some clearly seem not to. I'm sure deep down they have a definite, they care about their kids. But when it comes to taking that second moment to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do, and when they're out of sight, Brian, we were all kids at 6 and 7 and 8 years old. We all did things that were unsafe out of sight of parents.
Well, yes, but
the times have changed. Yeah,
we didn't have scooters back then either. Not motorized ones.
No, absolutely. So it's taken another level.
One more quick thing.
Yep.
The hospital, the doctor, and the nurses, and then the people that check you in ran off their feet.
Yep.
I don't know where the government is. I'm not going to point any fingers, but I think it's time for them to get off their backsides and do something. Don't talk. Do it.
Loud and clear, Brian.
All right, thank you, bud, and I will send you the pictures after I get a few hours sleep because I'm dropping here now.
Oh, listen, take and have whatever you got to do, and at your convenience. I just glad to hear you're okay and you're able to call and share the experience, which I'm sure will help other people in the long run, probably save a life.
Well, I hope so, and I hope more people start calling in because this is a serious situation.
It's ramping up. The e-scooters and e-bikes, the more people that have some kind of encounter with them, that's what gets it going. So that's what we need more of, consideration. And, legislation and those sorts of things are on the way. But it'll all be informed by the public's experiences such as yours. So thanks again. I appreciate this morning, Brian. Hope you're doing well.
Okay, bud. Thank you kindly, and you have a good one, and we'll be talking again soon.
Yep, I look forward to those photos. Take care.
Okay, bud. Bye-bye.
All right, man. Thanks, Ben.
The best of Open Line returns shortly.
Right to line number 3, and Larry, you're on the air.
Hello, Brian.
Good morning.
This is my first time calling, so I'm
wonderful. I look
totally new to this.
It's got to start somewhere, and we love first-time callers because we've never met. I've never met you. We've never spoke, so let's do it. What's on your mind?
Well, I'd just like to have my say on the MOU.
Sure.
Because I know it's coming. But I'd really rather see us going back to wood stoves and oil lamps than sign something that's not good for us.
I think we're all together agreed on that. The trick is who knows what's best for us and what's being negotiated and who's negotiating it and who's advising the premium. There's so many questions too, though, hey?
Yes. There are a lot of questions, and. And this hurry up and do it now thing before the election and all that stuff, I mean, that's con artist. Excuse me.
Sure.
That's con artist 101, isn't it?
Well, look, if any of this is influenced by politics, then we're already in the wrong church and the wrong pew, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as I've said before, you could get a consortium of our former premiers together, throw the politics out the window, find out, put your brains together, not the brain that says I'm a Tory, not the brain that says I'm a Liberal, or the half of it that says one or the other, but get over yourself and let's get the best possible deal we can for our province, whether or not that's right now. There's so many irons in the fire. The issues that Quebec has on its plate, the issues that we have on our plate. I mean, there's also the thinking, we just don't want to do it because there's immediate money from it. That's the old,
right.
Shooting herself in the foot and out of desperation as opposed to out of intelligence.
Yes. And we've done a lot of that over the years.
Yeah.
As a province.
Yeah, our financial position has always been that, the pusher, right?
Yes, and well, we're not in too good a financial position right now, but that doesn't matter. I'd really rather see us put this off for another 4 years, if we got to. If the Party Québécois gets in and we can't get an agreement with them, then we'll wait till they're out of it.
Yeah, and
kind of thing.
Exactly, and how much they're going to make this boundary dispute an issue if they ever do. I mean, there are things that you shouldn't worry about until you have to worry about them. Right now, in the moment, the two premiers are in the same city, the same rooms, and I heard the Premier Wakeham yesterday. I think he said I'm not negotiating. I'm not. Well, we know he's not a negotiator. We know there are negotiators at this. The question is, to what extent they are. The Premier of Quebec has been somewhat out front in talking about, pretty soon. If that's the case, it'd be great to know what's going on. I mean, there is a sense of, we'll inform the public when they need to know, but, maybe we need to know now.
Yes, and I'd really encourage people, right, to call in and express their opinions on this, because if we got 85% of people here saying, let's get the best deal for the province, and if we can't get that, then walk away, and if people feel that way about it, then let someone know, let the politicians know, right? And that way we don't get a big deal that's not good for us.
I mean, that's the trick. How do we know if it's not good for us? How do we know if it is good for us? We're relying on smarter people than me and you, I guess. Yes,
and we know what's happened in the past, so let's at least avoid those mistakes.
Yeah, I don't think escalator clauses are going to be left out of any deal that comes across the table, or some version of it that at least considers it, as opposed to the rushy nature that Brinko was in back in the early 70s. You hope, I've always said, if we can learn, if it's true that you learn from our mistakes, then we should be geniuses in this province. I mean, we absolutely, or my father used to say geniuses.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. We should know a lot. Yeah. That's just my opinion on it, and I just wanted to state that for the record now, because I just don't want us getting another raw deal.
No, and you're right. It's just so much out of yours and my hands, right?
Yes.
There are other questions. Timelines are a big deal. But again, there's always the possibility that we could be seen as being in a corner whereby we have to get it done now. I don't think rushing is ever a good idea. I'm not so sure this is a rush. I mean, it's been indicated some time ago that the former MRU under the Liberal government was not going to be part of the negotiation, apparently drafting something new. But we don't know how new it is. It could be parts of the old deal. It could be some of the new and some of the not. And then there's the issue of the referendum. Whatever happened to that? Is that even still a thing? I haven't heard hide nor hear of that. And that was supposed to be a pretty big deal. But Larry, only because of the time, did you want to wrap up? Listen, as a first-time caller, I appreciate it. More of your voice and voices of first-time callers are really important in this conversation.
No, we can wrap up now. That's fine. Like I said, I just wanted to express my opinion.
Yep, and that's what we're here for. And loud and clear.
Okay, thank you, and you have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Larry. You too. Always appreciate that sentiment. You too. Thanks.
The best of Open Line returns shortly.
Let's go to line number 1, and Donna, you're on the air.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for taking my call.
You're more than welcome. I'm doing okay. Thank you. How are you?
Well, it's hard to have a negative attitude on a sunny day.
It does help to sort of wash it away a bit, doesn't it? So it's trying.
It is. We have an issue going on with the healthcare system. I have a relative who's in dire need of having intervention. And I'm not going to get into the whole spiel of that, but I did want to throw out a bouquet, actually.
Lovely.
To Minister Layla Evans. Mm-hmm. I reached out to Layla, and I don't know her personally, and her and her team, there's someone named Colleen and Karen and Jennifer, are working on the problem that we're having with my 54-year-old son who can't swallow food this past couple of months. and he's dropped down 39 pounds, like for no reason. We don't know what's causing it, but thank you, Layla Evans, for helping and getting things rolling. Hopefully we'll get the test done soon that his esophageal specialist doctor ordered.
Specific,
And,
I guess, to the
we're
esophagus,
waiting for that
right?
to take place. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to his esophagus. I guess it's an issue with that. Is it, apparently?
It is an issue with the esophagus. We don't know exactly what, but I can mention the name of the doctor. It's
Sure.
Dr. Bradley Evans, and he's supposed to be an esophageal surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, please God, that this issue will get resolved sooner than later. Because, it's sad that in 2026, a 54-year-old man is literally starving to death, literally, in the province of Newfoundland, the 10th province of Canada. I don't know what to say.
When you say the starving to death, are you referring to the gentleman who are you referring to specifically?
Is my son, actually.
Yes.
He's 54 years old.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were talking about your son, because we had a gentleman on the other day talking about his loved one who is starving to death and couldn't get from Bell Island to a hospital. So
I heard that, and I wonder how many more people are, in the same boat with the same issue. Like, so do we not have enough specialists to deal with this? Like,
No.
I don't know what's happening, but and you don't know how desperate we are until you have someone who is dealing with a specific issue.
You're absolutely right. I get calls all the time. Oh my God, the number of healthcare calls you get. I said, can you spread it out? I was like, no, because these are the calls that we get. We don't do much screening until you call, and we just make sure that you want to go on the air and that sort of thing. If you don't mind, Donna, and this is wonderful because you're absolutely right. I can't imagine the number of items that the health minister has on her plate, let alone the other portfolios. There's some like 7 or 8 portfolios she has in front of her. And the health one alone, let alone the Aboriginal affairs and let alone all the other issues she's dealing with, whether it's the air ambulance announcement last week, the pilot project, the Shedevac, or whether it's what's currently happening right now and the pressure she's under given this sudden death of the woman from Norman's Cove in Labrador who had to wait 2 days for a medevac. And again, she's right. She can't really comment to specifics. And she's also right about the fact that, a pilot makes those decisions whether to land. And we know there was weather. And then, other people in NLHS, she's not passing the buck here. It's literally these decisions are made, on a case-by-case basis. And until I have all the detail, I'm loath to go there, although the family is pretty specific about what may have gone wrong here. But I echo your thoughts. I've said this about before, let alone the health challenges that Layla Evans is going through herself in revealing that she's dealing with breast cancer.
She's had herself, God love her.
Yeah.
And she's still trying to help people who are in need. And I'm not in her district. I mean, I'm actually a retired public civil servant myself. With over 30 years service, and she must have people pulling on her coattails all day long. But God love her. I sent her an email, and I got a response back very quickly. And please God that things will just keep on moving, and my son gets the help that he needs before he disappears.
And I will say, I just I'm curious for people who are listening, and people will call here and they say, "What can I do?" So just take me through the process. You were at wit's end, I assume, and so did you email the minister directly, or did you email her staff, or?
I emailed her directly. Now, my son has seen his family doctor, and the doctor turned him over to an ENT specialist, and then that specialist couldn't help him, and he turned him over to the esophageal specialist. And so I'm grasping at straws. I put it on Facebook. Do we know anybody? Do I know a fishing buddy of Dr. Bradley Evans? I wonder, does someone in my circle know this man? Mm-hmm. Are they fishing together? Are they playing golf? We need to get his ear. So he's ordered more tests. And now, in all fairness, it's only been since the 7th of July that he actually got to get in to see this doctor, but it's gone on now for 3 months or so. Mm-hmm. And with losing, not being able to swallow, and if you do happen to get something down, he ends up regurgitating it. So his body is actually, he's getting to be half the size he used to be. He was 255 pounds, and now this morning he's down to 219. Jeez. That's 216. I'm sorry. Like he's down 39 pounds, and it's coming off too rapidly. Is not healthy. Like I don't know how he's keeping going, to be honest with you, but he is, and I encourage him. But yeah, I'm grasping at straws. So I emailed the minister personally. I found her email address, and one of her staff contacted me back and said, give me your son's date of birth, his MCP number or phone number, where we can get in touch with him. And so that's where we are. And hopefully, things will fall into place.
Well, it's a lesson for others. This worked. It does work sometimes. And I will be the first to admit that sometimes I'm skeptical of emailing the minister or the premier directly, because we know, yes, their emails are monitored and they're not checking those emails daily. That's the way into the office of whether it's the health minister or the premier. And staff are, we assume, monitoring them, getting back to people. And more often than not, we hear they're not. But in this, and that's no reflection on this government, previous governments. It can be in the moment when they have the staff to do it, and God knows they're stretched thin. But the fact that they did and it worked in your case means it does work. And it can, if you go about it the right way. The most important thing is your son in his early 50s has a great advocate in you who knew what to do, navigate the system, where to email, fishing around on Facebook, for this doctor and friends. All the little things that you need to do to show that you are, in big time in that person's corner and willing to go to bat for them. And that inspires or even motivates or even triggers people in the actual system to do the same because they see the effort that you're making.
And plus his lady friend in his life phones the office every day. And I said to her, don't stop, keep phoning. Patient relations at nlhealthservices.ca was the person who contacted us back and said, well, can I have your information? We'll investigate this. So hopefully he'll get the test that he needs so that Dr. Evans can correct the problem.
Full disclosure,
our hopes are.
Full disclosure, I had this very issue as an infant. I couldn't keep anything down. They didn't know what the problem was. They found out after. I believe it was related to gluten allergy or a gluten system. I don't get too far in my medical history. But I was an infant at the time, and they couldn't figure it out and couldn't keep anything down, and I was wasting away. And lo and behold, a bit of junk food and a good doctor and some good staff and a very good and instinctive-minded mother. And here I am today.
There you are. Well, I'm glad it worked out for you, too. And I'm sure it will work out for my son.
Yeah, I really hope so.
As soon as we find out what the problem is, that we can get it fixed. Yep. That's just all we need.
Well,
ask and it shall be given. Yep. Seek and you shall find.
There you go.
Knock and the door will open. There you go. That's my attitude.
That's a great attitude to have, and it's even, sprinkled with a good dose of positivity. So that never goes astray either, Donna.
Thank you very much for your time.
And thanks for telling me and telling us about it. Good luck. Good luck to your son.
Good luck, Layla Evans.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out. Absolutely. Every day of this week, right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
It's the best of VOCM Open Line with Brian Callahan.
Let's go to line number 1. Bernie, you're on the air.
Yes, hi. Good day. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I just heard a lady speaking there a while ago about her son.
Yes.
That was having trouble swallowing.
Yes.
Well, my brother has the same problem, and he's been having it now for months, since since the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And
how old is he, if you don't mind me asking?
He's 61 years old.
Okay. Is this just developing lately, or has it been throughout his life?
No, it's just developed lately. It seems like it started back in October, November. Probably it started first, but it got worse as the months went on. And since January month, it seems like the only thing he's able to eat now is what I would say food that a child can eat. It's just soft food.
Yep.
And he was in the hospital for probably a week and a half last it was, I think maybe February.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it wasn't. It was later than that. It was April or March.
Right.
And they kept him in, but it seemed like they couldn't find out anything. What they were treating him for was mostly COPD, and like his breathing is bad, his language, his swallowing. But so I guess he have other problems along with the swallowing. So, but they still haven't been able to find out what the exact problem is. He just had a CT scan done now last week, so hopefully something will show up on that, and he'll be able to get treated for it and get better. Because, well, like the other lady said, my brother's lost a lot of weight too. He's lost, I'd say, probably 80 pounds.
Yeah, and this seems to be that seems to be a consistent marker or symptom. Bernie, I can tell you this, while in between the calls, after Donna's call and before yours, I got an email from Dr. David Gill at Memorial University with the Faculty of Education, and he sent along this. He said the mother should tell her son about a condition called achalasia. It's a nervous system disorder that constricts the esophagus. It's rare, but apparently it's actually more common in Newfoundland. And Dr. Gill says it took me 3 or 4 years to get a proper diagnosis because the doctors kept misdiagnosing him with a GERD, which is gastroesophageal, I'm going to pronounce that wrong, reflux disease. So that's the chronic digestive condition, right, where the stomach the acid comes back up, basically. It's
yes, I know,
it's the backwash, right?
I've been doing a lot of searching myself, and I know what that is, the GERD. And, they were also treating him for reflux.
Right, and so Dr. Gill, just so I finish what he says, and you can let me know if any of this rings true to you. And because I was heavier at the time, and Donna did mention herself that, the weight loss and that sort of thing, they thought the rapid weight loss was a good thing. Well, not always if you don't know why it's happening, I guess, as opposed to some of the treatments that are out there these days. I don't need to go into Ozempic and all that stuff. He says there is medication that can temporarily relieve the symptoms, but surgery is the only real solution. Might be worth letting at least know about the condition. So there you go. And apparently you're somewhat familiar with it, eh?
Oh yes, I've been doing a lot of searching since I've been taking care of my brother now for months now since he's got sick, and like he's been in and out of the hospital, and getting really frustrated with not being able to eat, and
God, I can imagine.
So I'm trying to help him out as best I can.
And so where is he in the system right now as far as being either diagnosed or treated or appointment or anything like that?
Well, he's like I said, he had a CT scan done last Friday night, and the last doctor he saw was Dr. Angel. Right. He is a ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Yep.
He's at the what's it called, St. Clair's.
Okay.
St. Clair's Hospital.
Yep.
And he's supposed to follow up with him now after this test.
Can he keep anything?
I couldn't get an appointment.
Oh, sorry.
Getting appointments also is a big problem. Like you have to wait a month to get an appointment.
Yep. That is the nature of the system these days. No matter what you're dealing with, you might as well be prepared for a wait of some kind. Some lists are longer than others, and it depends, of course, on the severity in many cases, right? Just like when you walk into an emergency room, you might not, have a finger hanging off your hand, or there might not be blood present, but you could easily just be on death's door, and not even know it, or and you rely on the staff there to be able to triage and put you in the queue. As a priority, but you don't know sometimes, right? You can't just go by appearances.
No, that's true. Like, I have been in at Placentia Hospital with him, and he was there we were there for 7 hours waiting to see a doctor, and finally he's on, and he gave him medication for COPD.
Yeah.
He gave him inhalers and what's called I can't think of the name of drug now, but he only gave him a few. But my brother wasn't able to take it because he's not able to swallow. He can't even swallow pills. He's also on like medication for depression, so he has to get the liquid. He has to get the liquid form in that in order to get swallowed, or he has to crush his pills.
Has the depression been, that's diagnosed as well, eh? Is that related to the condition? Like, has that sort of developed, hand in lockstep with the condition? Because that would make sense, of course.
I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I'm hoping the doctors are going to soon find out something so that he can start to get better. And like you said, he was pretty well on death's door there a few months ago. I fought with him to go to the hospital. They come and took him on the ambulance. And, one of the ambulance workers, she pleaded with the nurse to keep him in and get him checked out. And that's the time he stayed in the hospital for a week and a half. And he was run down. His whole system was run down. They had to hook him up to intravenous right away.
Get fluids in and try to strengthen him up to do anything. Yep, sorry.
It's been a pretty rough road for him.
And is he? So are you in town? Is he in town?
No, we're out of town. Both of us are out around the bay. I'm in Placentia Bay. He's in St. Mary's Bay.
Okay. So it's a trip too, a travel issue as well.
Yes. Yeah. And like he has had to have many ambulances because of his problem, and that's quite expensive too. And because he can't work, he's only getting a bit of kind of pension.
Yeah. So it's the perfect storm, really, isn't it?
Yes. Tell me about it. I know, like I've been going through it with him. So I just wanted to call in today and let people know that there's more than that lady and her son going through the same thing.
And that is exactly what we, impress upon people here. If you hear something like that, it can really help the conversation and the urgency from the officials and the powers that be. When they hear several calls in a row, it doesn't happen a lot. But when something strikes a nerve, sometimes, we can all be suffering through something that we don't really know until we all communicate and reveal it. It could be more common that we know than what the health system normally tracks as far as conditions and diseases and God forbid, anything that spreads really fast and causes what. So I'm not even going to say that word. Yeah.
No, well, we were afraid that we were expecting it over these past few months, me and my brother, that he was just going to die with it because we couldn't get help.
Yeah. Did you, I don't know, are you okay with where he is in the system now? Or maybe you should email the Minister of Health as well, as Donna did.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt for sure.
Yeah,
I have been in contact with many people, health workers and Sherry Gambon and
yes,
and
DMHA,
like
Sherry Gambon Walsh, DMHA for the area. Yeah.
Yeah, she's for our area. Yeah.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to suggest DMHA to Donna, but of course she's already gotten in the door, if you will, with the minister and her help there, and they're working on it. So I only wish that I hope the same can work out for your. Did you say this is your brother?
My brother, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and he's in his early 60s.
61, yeah.
Okay, first name?
His name was Greg.
Greg. Well, Greg, we wish you nothing but the best as well, man. Hopefully you can keep a bit of solid food down. What a treat that would be instead of all the fluids, hey? And I mean, you have to believe that can only help the other conditions, mental health issues that one would have, such as depression, because it doesn't make it any better, does it?
No, that's for sure.
Yep.
So you said about Dr. Gale. What did you say the name of that condition was?
He
told you?
Oh, achalasia. So it's I can give you a spelling. It's kind of a weird spelling.
Okay, just 1 second. I got to get a pen.
Yeah, no worries. And we'll wait. Yes, absolutely. For Bernie, give her a moment to get a pen or a pencil.
Okay.
Sorry. Yep, absolutely.
I got a pen.
No problem. ACH.
ACH.
ALA.
Yeah. ALA.
SIA.
SIA. Okay.
Achalasia. Yep.
And that was from Dr. Gill.
Yes, Dr. Gill at Memorial University, who, again, as he mentioned, had the same sort of issue himself, same kind of condition, and ergo would have some direct knowledge from first-hand knowledge of it, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's with the Department of Faculty of Education, by the way, just in case you can even Google that, and there's contact information. I don't think he'd be offended if you sent him an email for a little more information. So that's all online under Dr. David Gill with 2 L's.
Dr. David Gill, yeah. Okay.
Yep, and I appreciate it again, Doug. Okay,
yeah,
Bernie.
Thank you for listening.
Well, listen, thanks for the call, and thanks for adding to the conversation and bringing it to light. I'll bet you're not alone, neither is Donna, and I'm sure, we'll hear from others. So thank you again for the call and and the information.
Okay.
Take
have
care.
A good day.
All the best.
The next era of VOCM Open Line starts this Monday. Brian Callahan hosts weekdays starting at 9 a.m.